Hey everyone, welcome back to Bridge the Gap podcast. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Scott.
And he's not only just Scott, he's birthday boy Scott. It is his birthday today. So everybody say happy birthday to Dad. He's turning 31. So
yeah, I wish. So cheers. Thank you.
Love cheers. You. Bottoms up. Yep.
Bottoms up.
Love you.
Cheers.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
I said the same thing.
It's my birthday. Like it's officially like today is my birthday. You'll see
Correct.
This a day or so later, but
tomorrow.
Yeah, my birthday. And the best present that I got was you surprising me. So I came home from work on Monday, and when you come into our house, we have a mud room. You turn right and then you turn left, and that's our kitchen and great room and stuff. And I look up, and after being in traffic for like an eternity, I look up and there you were. So that's the best present I could have gotten. So thank you for making the time to come down or come up, I guess, and say hi and wish me
You're welcome.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, a lot went into it.
Yeah, it's crazy,
y'all. I don't lie. Yeah, a lot went into it. I don't lie to my parents often. There was a lot of lying these last 2 weeks because we had to keep it a secret, and then we'll cliff note it because we've got a great conversation that we're excited to have today. But my AC on my car had a little hiccup, and Dad kept texting and calling me, and he was like, "Take it in somewhere." I was like, "Dad, I am. I just forgot today," or blah, blah, blah. And the whole time I was waiting because we have a mechanic here in my hometown that we trust very greatly. So a lot of Dad, I forgot today, or guys, my roommates, they just wanted to hang out, Dad. I'm sorry. Like a lot of fibbing.
Yeah,
so I'm glad all of that's over.
You pushed it on the fibbing because I was starting to get pissed. Like I was like, I swear to God.
I know. That's why I was.
So I was, I was glad.
And I even waited to tell you. I even waited to tell you until it was closer to when I was coming up because I was like, I can't have him on my back for too long because I'm waiting to come home.
Yeah. So yeah, it was, the fibbing was good. You definitely got me. So that was good. Yeah, it's, and then I spent today in a training all day, which was great. I mean, there was like 100 people in the training, and it was good for me because, I started with this company. I'm in my 4th week already, which is just incredible to say out loud. But,
whoop, whoop.
Yeah, so it was good because it was good for me to reconnect with people that I knew before and meet new people. And so it was good, but it hasn't really felt like my birthday, right? And so so this weekend, last weekend we went out to dinner with friends of ours, a group of friends, and so that was cool. And then you coming home was definitely awesome. And then my in-laws are coming over tonight. We're doing dinner. But I have to be up in Adam at 5 tomorrow morning, so nothing too crazy. So I'm looking forward to the weekend and celebrating. Unfortunately, you won't be here, but let's give a shout out. So Gabe is the branch manager. He works for Mavis. They're all over the country, I think. But he is awesome. He ran the location that was literally 2 minutes from our house. And he moved to a location that's more like 10 miles away, and we still go there. He and his team are unbelievable. And they found the issue, and now your car is blowing colder air than probably my car, which is good. And especially as we get into the summer. And so, yeah, shout out to Gabe. The other thing I want to address is because your mom keeps bugging me about it. So I put Celsius in my view because I like it. And she's like, you need to drink it. And I was like, well, I don't want to drink it at sometimes when I'm doing it because, it's an energy drink and I drink it when I need it. But I will say today, there's some Celsius in this cup. You can see I'm not drinking tea today because it's my birthday. And so,
it's his birthday.
So with that shot, I'll be tired and it's been a long day. So I got some Celsius in here so I can be entertaining for this evening. But but yeah, so go Celsius. Thank you guys. I mean, they don't pay me or anything. I wish they would, but it's my energy drink of choice. I don't drink them a lot. I know I'm getting old. You can't drink them as you get older. Energy drinks in general have some side effects and as you get older, side effects are quicker to hit you than when you're younger. So all of those of you that are older that are like, you shouldn't drink those. I don't drink them very often. I drink them when I need them. I usually drink them before I go to the gym. It's a great energy boost for the gym. Or, sometimes not sometimes, but recently, part of my company's processes is like an early morning kind of operation. And so it's been a long time since I had to get up at 2 a.m. to be at work by 3:30. But in my training, that's a vital part of what we do. So I drink Celsius those mornings as I'm driving in because I need that energy. But anyway, that's
yeah.
why
I know a lot of people like
there.
Celsius. It's always there. A lot of people are Team Celsius. I'm Team Red Bull till the days that I can't have Red Bull anymore. But until those days happen, I'm Team Red Bull all the way.
Yeah. But I used to do Monsters a lot, but
you did. There were always older. Monsters in the fridge.
Always. And like this is controversial. It's not, but it's debated. I used to love Jaeger Monster drinks. Loved them. Like I loved Jaeger. Loved it. And I know Jaeger is a love-hate thing. Lauren's face is describing the latter. But I love it. The problem is my body doesn't love it anymore. So back, 15, 20 years ago, whatever, Jaeger Monster, I loved it. But now I can't really do that. So I've evolved to the Celsius, and I've had others. There's plenty out there that are good. I still like Red Bull, and I tried the, what is it, Alani? Is that what it is?
Alani, yeah. A lot of college girls drink Alani.
Yeah, it's very trendy now. It's like the new one. It's all pretty cans and stuff, and so. They're
seasonal flavors.
Yeah, they're all good. This one, Celsius, is the one that I've stuck with because I love grape. I think that's the one that's behind me. The grape one's fantastic. The fruit punch, the orange. If you like orange, I know you don't. They have.
I don't like Celsius. Period.
Yeah, well, I do. So, if you're older and you don't drink energy drinks, Celsius is a good choice because it's so, quote unquote not supposed to be as harmful to you. I don't know, but our view and what we've always
just like everything, drink in moderation.
Right.
Yep, that's what I just said. Drink in moderation, whether it's caffeine or alcohol. Just drink in moderation.
Yeah, drink as needed. So other than that, I think the last week. It was kind of chilly, wasn't it? Like I think I was in a sweatshirt, like a hoodie. And today we're on the surface of the sun here in the southeast. It's like 94 degrees.
Yeah.
But
I sat in the pool today.
Yeah, congratulations. You got to enjoy my birthday better than I did.
It was all in spirit of you, Dad. I think I even got burned too. Look at my elbow; it's all red. I'm already burning, and I put on sunscreen.
Well, you need it. You need to get a little vitamin D.
I do get vitamin D, Dad.
No, you don't.
Anyway,
you take a vitamin C shot and move on right to vitamin E.
I don't know what any of the vitamins are, but yeah, Dad's birthday. a lot of fun stuff. I'm looking forward to dinner actually a lot, but
Yeah.
we've got a really exciting topic today. We kind of
Yeah.
introduced it last week, but we're really going to dive into it today. And that's how AI is one, ruining education, but it's also ruining critical thinking skills.
Yeah.
So one thing I will say, I am not immune to ChatGPT. I'm not immune to AI, y'all. I chat every health issue that I have. Okay. Every single time I wake up and I'm like, that doesn't feel right. That's not looking right. I immediately am like, chat, what's going on? I also like to write a lot. I write fiction. And I'll ask it to proofread for grammar mistakes and making sure that it's all flowing correctly. Because, when it's in your head, it makes a lot of sense. But when someone else is reading it, they go, I don't know what I just read. That's a problem. So that's what I use ChatGPT for. I will say for school, I did all of my schoolwork by myself. I wrote all of my essays by myself. You will not catch me relying on a robot. Okay. So that's just the disclaimer. I'm not saying that I'm immune to it. It's something that I don't think anyone can say that they're completely immune to, because it's just part of our society now. But how much of society, like how much of it do we allow into society until we go, hey, man, something's wrong here.
Right.
So that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. And it'll also be interesting going back to our original thing of bridging the gap. From a generation that didn't grow up with any kind of help from any sort of internet until like 1990s. And even then it was scarce. And then
it was late.
Yeah. And then my generation that grew up doing fast math on the computer and going to the computer labs in school to all of a sudden, all of us have our own laptops and now AI. So it'll be a very interesting perspectives going on to explore so far. So yeah, we're excited to talk about that today.
Yeah, it's really interesting because AI is like a thing that I saw in movies growing up, right? Like, Terminator 2 came out in like 90, I think, 91 maybe. I think I was 15.
It was just when the internet was introduced and they said, oh shit.
Well, the internet wasn't even a thing, like, so your pop-up, my dad was an IT guy. So the reason why we wound up in California, because we're originally from the East Coast as a family, both my mom and my dad are East Coast people. My mom's family moved to the West Coast after she was born in the 50s. My dad didn't move to California until after he got married. Well, he was in the Air Force, and that's how he met my mom in California, blah, blah, blah. And then once they got married, they moved back to the East Coast, right? And so my dad, it's talk about generational repeating itself. My dad didn't take the straight line after high school, right? He was in the military and he went to school but he went to school to be in IT. Like my dad in the 70s knew that he wanted to be working with computers, which is just insane.
Smart, very, very ahead of the curve.
Totally ahead of the curve. So
yeah.
And so that's why we wound up in California, because in the 70s, I was born on the East Coast. I say I was born and raised in San Diego because we moved to California when I was like 8-9 months old. So in reality, I'm as native as you almost can get, right?
And you know what? I wouldn't want to admit the state that I was born in either if I were you. So
easy. And so we wound up in California because that was the only state you could get a job in computers. You know what I mean? So I was always in a house that was advanced when it came to computers. My dad, we had an Apple IIe before anybody else had one. For those of you that don't know what that is, watch old movies. It's the beige box with green screen.
Yeah.
We had Atari before anybody did. Like we had all the computer stuff. But the internet didn't. I mean, it literally had zero impact on my entire youth.
Yeah.
I moved back to my parents' house after living in Los Angeles in 1999. No, 2000. And my dad had dial-up internet in 2000. I mean, I was already 25 years old, right? So
that's crazy.
Yeah, I was 25. We never, like, the internet is something that my generation has had to evolve into.
Yeah.
In order to be effective as adults, right?
Right.
Your generation, it's just part of your entire existence. And so
we've evolved
difference.
Yeah. It's interesting because, you know, like, we're in the age of information or whatever. But if you think about it, like, my generation especially, like, Ryan's grew more, like, it was already pretty advanced by the time Ryan was in elementary school, which is crazy to say because technology really has just advanced ridiculously quick. But my generation evolved with it, right? So, like, when I was in elementary school, there were 4 humongous box computers per classroom, like box TV size computers, and there were 4 per classroom. And so teachers would have to do stations in order for every kid to get a turn on the computer, or you rented out computer labs, which kids nowadays don't even know what that means. And it's so, like, crazy to me. I had a table one time and we were talking about technology. I don't even remember how we got on the topic. It's not important. But I was talking about computer labs and how, like, when it was computer lab day, it was so exciting. Or, like, when the teacher rolled in the TV cart, it was so exciting. And the kid, he's probably about 8 years old. He looks at his dad. He goes, "What's a computer lab?" I was like, "Oh no, we're losing." And then I'm like, so what are those rooms now? Like, in my elementary school? Like, is it still just a dormant computer lab? Like, so weird. But
right.
My generation evolved with technology. So that's why, you know, you're like, I don't know how you text so fast, or I don't know how you know how to do that shortcut. And it's like, well, because I don't have a choice. Like, we have to know because that's how the world operates now. We have to be able to keep up with what's going on. So you guys learned home row because of typewriters. We learned it because of computers. Like, we had to evolve with the technology in order to help others evolve with technology. But it is still weird for me, even growing up with technology and learning the internet and all that from a very young age. I mean, the Internet Explorer was all that was there for a long time for me. And then all of a sudden, Google Chrome and Firefox and all those came out of the woodworks, you know?
Yeah.
And even when ChatGPT was introduced, I was like, what the hell? Like, we're talking to a computer, it's answering my question. Siri was even crazy to me still by the time they introduced ChatGPT. I was like, what are we doing? Like, I can't even keep up anymore with how fast and rapid it's growing.
Yeah, it is crazy because, like you said, I mean, we had typing in high school. Like, that was an elective that I took, you know? And one of my graduation gifts from high school was a typewriter. And it was like fully advanced because there was like this LED screen right above the keyboard, and it would highlight like an error so you could go back and erase, you know? So it has been crazy for, I think I share the sentiment with a lot of Gen Xers. It's been crazy for us. And every generation has this crazy, you know, like my grandfather was born in 1907. In 1969, we went to the moon, right? Like, I mean, think about the advancements that he saw. Same with my dad. My dad saw computers as the future, and computers barely existed when my dad was born in 46. So 1966, the only computers were in NASA or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
So everybody has that kind of like, holy shit, technology advancement thing. And my generation, we can go on, like TVs, phones, internet. I mean, it could go on and on and on. But we really have had to adapt, I think, at the greatest level of any generation, because like my parents' generation, my mom still doesn't even have an email address. Like she's like, I'm not dealing with that shit. Like, you know what I mean? And my dad did because he worked professionally, but my mom, you know, she's like, I don't have an email. And so it makes it very hard for her nowadays because everything is done through the internet, through email, through, you know, blah, blah, blah. But that generation had the elective to go, nah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
You know? Our generation had no choice. I mean, by the time it became relevant, like I said, in 2000, most of us were just starting our adult life and our careers. So we had to adapt from the typewriters and the encyclopedias and the card catalogs and, you know, all of that. We had to adapt to learning how to use this. And I will tell you, it's very interesting to me now, because I'm older, AI doesn't freak me out because I'm not going to use it in the way that people can, which is, you know, we'll talk about in a little bit. But I have used it, and it's really cool if you use it almost like it's intended to be used as opposed to what can it be used for. And that's kind of how I see all of that. Like that's how I see a lot of things. It's almost like social media, right? Like social media is an amazing invention when it is used for good, right? Like I connected with people that I never would have connected with ever again. It helps with people solving problems, building connections. Like I think that's what the intent was, but unfortunately human nature,
100%.
Human nature is always to manipulate. Not always. Let me back that up. There's a tendency to always manipulate things, and there's a lot of evil. And so it's become just unbelievably distracting, and I can't stand it. And I'm sure AI will evolve the same way, but for like my generation, me changing, you know, I have to send a lot of, I have to write reports, I have to write emails, blah, blah, blah. And so I got really, I think, proficient at doing that. But now I've got this, like you said, I've got this added tool where I can throw it in there and be like, hey, make this more concise, but don't miss points. And it helps me.
Yes.
Or I'll say, hey, or like my resume, like, you know, I have a resume. I updated it, followed the same format, but then I took that section, put it into AI, and was like, hey, make this sound for this role. And it did it. And it didn't take away the content. It just made it a little bit better. And so it's unbelievable when you can use it for stuff like that. Like, it's just unbelievable. Like, I created email templates with moving pictures at the top of the email to draw people's eye in, and, you know, stuff like that when I was prospecting as a business development person. So there's so much advantages to it. But then it's so funny because before we started talking, I pulled up dangers and benefits of AI. And of course, AI answered it for me, which is like, whoa, like what the hell, you know?
Well, because it's scary. Like, I just think about Terminator or all those things where like AI becoming aware of itself. Like, that's what we have to worry about. And when the only way that AI keeps getting smarter, because it pulls from the internet, right? But the only way it keeps getting smarter, if you think about it, is the more questions that we ask it. The more that we rely on it to assist us and do basic tasks, that's how it gets smarter. That's how it becomes aware of what it is. And it's very, very scary. Listen, I don't want to go full conspiracy theorist because I wanted to stay more fact-based here.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's been scientists that have done research and gone, listen, if we keep trending at the rate that we're trending, AI will rule over humankind because it will become smarter than a human. It is very possible. Very possible. It's why they made Jurassic Park, because you know what? One day, if we do have the technology to replicate a dinosaur, don't do it.
We probably will.
Don't do it. They made a movie about it. What's that one with Will Smith in it with the robot? iRobot, right? Is that what it's
Yeah,
called?
I think so.
Same thing. They all became aware of themselves, and look what
Yeah.
happened.
Well, I mean, Terminator is the
This is
OG, right? Like artificial
yeah.
intelligence. We created
It can
robots with AI, and they figured out, wow, the human race is easy to conquer,
stupid.
right?
We're so stupid.
Yeah.
We're so stupid. That's why when Tesla was like, we made a robot, I was like, oh no. I was like, guys, we wrote books about this. We made movies
Yeah.
about this. Like,
Well,
we cannot be doing this.
yeah, I mean, you're totally. I get it, and it's true, right? A majority of Americans rate the risk of AI as high, right? So the majority of, I think, society understands the risks. I just hope we never forget it. Like, don't forget the risk. And we're really good as a species, as a being, as an entity, whatever you want to call the human race. We're really good at forgetting bad.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and there's countless examples, right? Like, that's why history is so important, because if you forget history, you're destined to repeat it. Which is, we can get into that conversation on another episode, but your generation and below you, I think, is quick to forget history. Not you, you're an anomaly, but generally speaking, right? Like when we think about the Holocaust or World War II, the further and further we remove generations from that time, the easier it is to not remember it. And then you got the whole cancel
put weight
culture
into it.
And then you have the whole cancel culture that's like, well, it was bad back then, so we don't want any remembrance of it. And that's like, no, that's not the right vision to have, because when you think about anything that could damage us, AI is one of those, right? It, like, look at social media. Social media started so genuine and pure. Like, I wish I could go back to my feed from 2009 when I think I joined Facebook, because it was always like, it was like, hey, hope everyone's having a great day. Took my kids to the date, took them to the park. Such a great day. Like, it was so innocently stupid.
Yeah.
And
it was like,
not in a bad way.
Like, no, like when Instagram started, when I joined Instagram, which was like 2015, right? It was safe for elementary students to join. That's how I had it. I was in 5th grade. And because people were just posting nonsense.
Like dogs falling downstairs because they're clumsy. Like puppies.
Like I used to post a picture of like the pizza that I had. And the caption was, this pizza's so good.
Right.
And all my friends from school loved it. Yeah. I could see what other people were liking and interacting with. Like, it was such an innocent thing. I didn't mean to take over, but I was just adding on because you didn't have Instagram when it first started. So like
2 years ago.
And he still doesn't know how to use it, y'all. I tell him I have to like do a crash course with him every 6 months on how to use it. Okay, that's not true. He knows how to use Reels and he knows how to blow your phone up with it.
I do.
Other than that,
I do that.
Other than that,
I don't post anything because I don't know how to do it.
And I've shown him, y'all. I
swear to God, I don't know how to do it.
Whatever.
But anyway, just to finish that, you know, like everything I think starts great with good intentions. And then we forget, and then evil creeps in. And that's what I hope doesn't happen with the AI. Because, like, obviously, the benefits, right? Increased productivity and efficiency. I already talked about that. You can do something, put it in there, it does it, cleans it up. You're like, boom, I don't have to just go through 5 edits, right? There's accuracy in it. You know, like you mentioned healthcare. Like, I didn't even think about that, right? So, you know, there's the old joke, and I've seen comedians say this all the time, like, don't ever Google your symptoms because WebMD, everything comes back to you have cancer. You know what I mean?
That's what I told you last night. Remember when we were talking about it? And I was like, I got real bloated. So I asked ChatGPT, because if I looked it up on Google, they would have been like,
you have stomach
cancer. You're either pregnant or you have cancer. Right. And I'm like, what are we talking about?
It's so true. So I've never used, you know, AI for medical stuff, but it's true, right? Yeah. And then it's unbelievable. Professionally, it's so awesome because you get real-time data constantly. So being an old guy, but still being in the world where there's technology incorporated, you know, like I've always had a computer on my desk. Whereas, you watch some of the shows from the 90s, there's no computers. And so, like your brain goes, well, what the hell did they do all day? Right.
Facts.
But, it used to be like, hey, your stuff's not going to update until 2:00 in the morning overnight because we have to reconcile all the data and blah, 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 blah. Now, I have a little device that I can literally pull up and gives me real-time information as it's happening. And that's all AI, right? Like that's what's doing all that. And so there's a ton of great stuff about it. Obviously the dangers that you've already hit on. Number one, jobs, right? It's already replaced a bunch of jobs, which is terrible, but we could say that about a lot of technological advances, right?
It's scary for me too, because on a personal level, because we've talked about dream jobs, right? And then I'll let you get back to it.
Yeah.
My dream job is to be a writer. Guess what?
Right.
Someone can go into ChatGPT and be like, write me a 300-page novel with this idea, these characters, and take my job.
Yeah. Well,
that's
it's already
a dream
happening.
job for me. I know. And that's the sad part is there are books on our shelves right now that a human being didn't even touch besides giving the plot and the characters.
Right. No,
that's it.
And listen, I'm not a big fan of artists that glorify artists, meaning the whole Hollywood kind of thing of, and they've been knocked down quite a bit from an ego standpoint as of late, but they used to elevate themselves. We're better than everyone. It was kind of and granted, for years and years, people looked up to celebrity and actors, in the early days and all that kind of stuff. But I lived in LA, worked in Hollywood, and I used to hear people all the time be like, I'm an actor. And I'm like, dude, you're busting my table. Like you're not an actor. You want to be an actor. And I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. There's, but right now you're a busser or you're a waiter or you're a bartender or, you know what I mean? And so I've never been a big fan of that whole artist kind of persona sometimes that has been given off. But then at the end of the day, I fear for them now because you're right, and there's songs out there that especially now with the auto-tune crap that a lot of your generation grew up listening to people with auto-tune. Like it's hard to tell the difference between someone actually singing with the production value of auto-tune or is it a computer generated freaking thing?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's what's sad because, that's another difference between you and me is I grew up like my band heroes recorded on tape. Like literally tape, and they had to cut the tape and tape it together to put parts together, and you had to be a really good musician because in the studio you couldn't waste time messing up all the time because they can't cut tape over and over and over and over. You know what I mean? Like you had to be good. And now, obviously, it's not the same because everything's recorded digitally, and then you got auto everything, and you can clean it up. And so, from a production value, from a time frame standpoint, like Metallica's Black album in 1990, that was like a 15-month thing. Like they recorded that album for months and months. Def Leppard, Pyromania, and Hysteria, months and months and months. Now people go in like 4 days. They're like, "Yep, done." So there are advantages, but there's also there's another disadvantage to where the AI and the advancements can take away from really talented people, and that's disappointing. And I'm all for it when it comes to reporting and accuracies and trends and all that kind of stuff is fantastic. But when you to your point, when it comes to things that used to be very artistically driven or creatively driven or all of that stuff, it's sad to see the introduction of this.
Yes.
And it's scary it's scary where it could go. And I don't fear for me on it, really. I mean, maybe I should. But I worry about it for you. I worry about it
Yeah.
if, God willing, I get
For
grandchildren. I worry about it for that because it could turn quickly. You just, there's a lot of bad folks in positions of power that can manipulate and change things really quickly.
All positions of power, they're all bad people.
That's not true.
I believe in. I don't trust anybody in the government.
Well, that's not what I'm talking about, though. Like, power is anybody that has a position of authority. You know what I mean? So it can be used at any level terribly. You could fabricate things. You could do,
and that's what I was going to say. Like, to go into more of the fear factor and why I'm so afraid is because when AI was first introduced, I was about a senior in high school. Okay, so it was very beta, right? Like, no one really used it as much. Like, it was just for fun. Like, you can look up the video compilation of like people used AI first in 2022, 2023. And the first video generated of it, right? They told ChatGPT generate a video of Will Smith eating spaghetti, and it's terrible. 2 years later, you can't distinguish it from being fake or real.
Yeah.
2 years. 2 years.
Yeah.
So what I fear for the most is people, again, using it for the wrong reasons, but in a way that could cause mass destruction.
Yeah.
You can now replicate people's exact faces, making any face you want. You can replicate people's voices.
Mm-hmm.
So God forbid, right? Since the president of the United States is currently Trump, God forbid someone goes on Twitter and says, oh my gosh, reporting like video audio recorded at the White House leaked. And it's Trump going, we're going to bomb North Korea overnight.
Right.
Guess what happens first?
Right.
North Korea bombs us.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I fear for the most. I mean, there's stuff that's happened since the very early in AI technology where it's something called deep fakes, where someone stands there like me and I'm talking and I'm saying, oh, I really want to go blow up this establishment. And then they put someone else's face on me.
Mm-hmm.
And so then that person, they're now like, oh, that person wants to go blow up the establishment. Let's go take them to jail. Like, that's what I'm more scared of, is how evil it's going to become, because I want to believe that, yes, we're using it for good. Yes, we can use it to advance things like in the medical field or science or politics or writing. Like, there are a lot of positives to it, like you said, but humans are so sinful, I guess I'll say. I don't want to say evil, but I'll say sin. We're sinners. Listen, all of us. And if you're Christian, that's what you believe Jesus died on the cross for. Okay?
Right.
But we are sinners and we will do things that are not good. We've been doing it from the dawn of time, but now there's a tool that's just going to assist evil people in doing evil things. And that's what I'm most afraid of. I'm afraid of the fact that kids can't spell anymore. No one can spell.
But that's not because of AI.
But the teachers aren't helping it. All kids are using our AI.
Right.
But then on the same time, I'm in college. I wrote an essay and I ran it through like an AI detector.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes, your writing was detected for 99% AI. I wrote every word of it.
Right.
So if you have good writing skills now,
right,
it's flagging it as AI. And I'm like, that's not fair. So like when I uploaded that essay, I was like, I emailed my professor and I was like, I know you're going to run this through AI. Here's a screenshot of all the activity that I did on this document to show you that not once was AI used on this essay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's so scary, the lack of critical thinking, but then also AI so prevalent that if you do have critical thinking, you're automatically, oh, you looked that up. Right. You put that in AI.
So
no, I didn't. I just have common sense. God forbid.
Yeah. So you hit on the stuff scary. That's like crazy, right? So there was a movie in the 80s starring Matthew Broderick called War Games. And it's the whole thing was.
It's a good movie.
It's a great movie.
Great movie.
And the whole movie's premise is that there's a game called Global Thermonuclear War, and it was a game like on, back then. I think this movie's like 83, maybe 84. It was before Ferris Bueller's,
I'll look it up.
right?
I'll look it up.
And it was a game, and people played it. Well, then a computer, dun dun dun, 83. A computer got a hold of it and thought it was real. And so the whole movie is human beings committed in trying to convince the computer that it's not real, and they had to play the game in order to convince it that it's not real. Like, it's a great movie. So you think about what you said, and it's like we've said it a couple times. Like, I just hope we learn from what we were predicting creatively. Like you talked about Fahrenheit 451. We can talk about 1984.
It's my favorite book.
We can talk about War Games. We can talk about Terminator. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, where people manipulate technology to create realism, and those that criticize it get silenced. And so there's this whole thing, conspiracy-wise, where it's like, dumb down your society, increase technology. The people are dumber, so they'll believe the technology. The technology can manipulate and can influence the human. And then all of a sudden we're in this place. You know what I mean? Hunger. Right. I mean, like, you can go on and on.
Think about it.
About those examples.
Fahrenheit 451 was written in 1953. When technology was just beginning, okay? Yeah. Like, serious technology was just beginning. Ray Bradbury writes a million great books, but there's a reason this one's so popular. And if you haven't read it, I implore you to read it, because it literally talks about, he was inspired partly by Nazi Germany burning books. That's what the premise is. Firemen in this future society are set out to burn books to diminish critical thinking. But part of it also, these houses are made of screens. Their houses are made of screens where propaganda is screamed at their faces. Books are bad, burn the books. Y'all, we're right there. It's very relevant. Nobody reads. Nobody takes the time to read anymore. Critical thinking is a rare talent nowadays, and that's the scariest part to me. It is. If you are 14 years old and you look at something and you can't critically think about it before you plug it into a computer to give you the answer, then we're in a shit ton of trouble here.
Yeah. You're totally right.
We did talk on a very grand scale, and that's what we've been talking about so far, is the grandiose what ifs. Right. But it's the small little things that we're not looking at that are already being implemented into society.
And you have to be careful, right? Like, I think I agree with you. And I try to not be doomsday, right? Like, I genuinely believe humans wake up every day. The vast majority wake up every day and want to do something positive. To me, there's a very small population of the world that gets up and is like, I'm going to make today shitty, and I'm going to ruin somebody else's day, or I'm going to kill, or whatever, right? Like, clearly the population.
Most people just want a good day.
They just want to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But with that, and we can see it in how we receive information now, the news. I mean, you can go on and on. If it becomes a one-dimensional avenue, one-way street, then it's really, and you dumb down the receivers, right? Because texting will automatically spell everything for you. You don't even have to write words, right? If we continue to dumb down the population and reduce our expectations, and that's why I hate schools that say everybody passes, like there's no failing grades here and all that kind of stuff. Like, that's crazy. The more we do that, the more at risk we are to be taken over by a totalitarian, which I'm not going to get political. And I'm not talking about our
Right.
current administration. I'm talking about the Hunger Games, or, you know what I mean? Like, I'm talking crazy different levels. So if you're a political friggin' nut job, you can comment, you can say whatever you want, but that's not what I'm saying. But 1984 was written in 1948, and he talked about the dangers of society and where it's going and what it could lead to, and how we could be taken over, and blah 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 blah. So
because World War II, a lot of those books were brought about that time, post World War II, because that was the most evil that the human race had faced, the modern human race had faced in a very, very long time.
Right.
You learn about the Mongolians and the guy that killed everybody. Of course, I draw a blank on his name right this second, but he took out like 5% of the world's population at the time, right?
Yeah.
Like, you learn about those things, but that was the most evil that the modern human has seen in a very, very long time. Nazi Germany and concentration camps
about Genghis
was
Khan, by the way.
Thank you. Of course, that just invalidated everything I said. Damn it. But I knew what I was talking about. Everyone knew what I was talking about. I literally saw his face in like Mulan, because he's in Mulan, and I was thinking about it. But Nazi Germany and Hitler and concentration camps, that was the most evil that even I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I mean, that was spawn of Satan kind of hate.
Well,
and so there's a reason a lot of those books, no, you're good. I'm wrapping up real quick. There's a reason a lot of those books like Fahrenheit 451 in 1984 and Animal Farm, there's a reason why those are classics and why they're all written around that time, because we saw how dark humans can get. So these were all written as warnings, y'all. Like, this is not, they're not just writing out of their butt, okay? Like, this is a warning.
Yeah. No, it is. It's crazy, and we're kind of off the AI thing, but I think it's just evolved into technology.
Well, we're going back.
Yeah, I mean, it evolves into technology and society being reliant without thinking or manipulating things for beliefs, right? Which, if we let computers define that for us, then as a human race, that's where we start losing. But your point is super valid. Like, it is interesting because Hitler in World War II was such a big deal, and rightfully so. I'm not sugarcoating that at all. Like,
I mean, all wars were a big deal for sure, but that one, there's a reason that we take more time in school to look at that one than the other ones.
But then there's leaders that killed a ton of people through their leadership, right? That we never talk about, like Mao Zedong in China. It's made often exceed 40 to 70 million people were killed under his reign. Or Stalin, right? Millions of people.
Right. Mussolini,
Genghis Khan, Leopold II of Belgium. I mean, there's leaders now in Africa that are just massacring people, right? Like,
and I mean, say what you want, but the entire British Empire trying to wipe out Irish people.
Yeah.
And all the Celtic regions like Scotland and Ireland. The potato famine, y'all, wasn't just because that's all we had to eat. It's literally because they were starving us to death. Gave. Okay, like, it's not...
Yeah, I mean, there's countless examples, but it's the most recent big thing because it involved the world, not the world.
Yes,
but it involved multiple nations. Whereas,
like multiple races.
Yeah, like Mao Zedong, nobody was going into China to stop him doing what he was doing, right? So, we lose sight of that. But I think at the end of the day, when it comes to AI, like I said, I think there's some unbelievable advantages to it. There's some scary disadvantages. And I hope, for my kids' sake and my grandkids and their grandkids, I hope we don't lose sight of the danger and become a movie. It would make me very sad to become a movie. Like, one of my all-time favorite movies is WALL-E. Love it. I love that movie.
Great movie.
I'm an old man. Love WALL-E. But I watched it and I'm like, God, I hope we don't end up that way. But in reality, we're getting lazier and lazier. We're getting fatter and fatter. We're eating processed and more processed foods. Computers are doing more. And then in that movie, literally the computer takes over. It won't let them go back to Earth when he wants to go back to Earth. Like,
more and more reliant on technology.
right?
Yeah.
And we're lazier and dumber because we're looking up at things and we're like, oh, it must be lunchtime. And our chair takes
And the
us.
screen tells us.
And the screen tells us, you know what I mean? So I think to wrap up the episode, because we're getting to that time, I just hope that we continue to see the good and use it for good. And I hope that we continue to try and be better thinkers and challenge and research and investigate and absorb, so we don't become a movie, because it can happen within a generation. I mean, I think that's a thing that we've learned from World War II is things can happen within a generation that we never thought could happen.
Right.
That's my last thing.
How I'm going to wrap it up is one of my favorite quotes ever is actually from a literal kids movie. But the quote is, "The world without art is just right?" And so you take the word art out of the word earth and you get Mm-hmm. One thing that I will say is AI will never be able to fully replicate how it feels to be a human. You know, they may become aware of themselves, but they'll never feel like humans feel. And that's how the greatest art comes about. Breakup songs, celebratory songs, paintings of tragedies, of triumphs, books about the future or hope or love, movies about love and hope in the future. Like, that's all created from humans so far, right? AI will never be able to replicate that feeling. And so we all just need to hold on to that, right?
Yeah.
You will never find the comfort in an artificial intelligent person that you will find in another human being who likes the same things as you do. Mm-hmm. It'll never feel as great than to share an earbud with somebody because they like that song, or to hold hands with someone as you walk down the street. Nothing replaces how great it feels in the feelings of being a human. And the world without art, which is love and all of those feelings, is So we cannot, that's my thing, is we just cannot lose what it feels like to be human in the false promises of a screen. That's how I'll wrap that conversation
up.
That's
a good thing. Don't experience life. Don't let life experience you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like don't let the computer control you. Go out and experience life. You know, take control of your own destiny. Don't let it be decided for you. So anyway,
that's why I say all the time when someone says something where like brain rot now, right? Like whatever. I'm like, go touch grass, dude. Go lay out in a field and stare at the sky and feel the breeze.
Yeah.
We need to reconnect with the earth, y'all. What are we doing? Yeah.
It's so true. We use that in a meeting today. Touch grass.
Yeah.
Like
go touch grass.
Bring yourself back to the ground, you know, like in today, the meeting, we're a room full of leaders. And you can't let yourself elevate when you have to stay grounded, you know, like you got to touch grass and that's real. So anyway, good way to wrap it up.
I'm not saying it to be insulting. I'm literally just telling you, like, go touch grass, reconnect with the earth. Like, I'm not trying to be mean.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm being serious.
100%. So anyway,
good episode. Great conversation. Great. It's one that really can go so many different directions because there really is a lot that goes into it. Like we talked about history and media and all that kind of stuff. But great conversation. Once again, happy birthday.
Thank you.
I'll do my own personal shout out to Dad since he's on the podcast, but my dad and I are super close and I'm super happy for it. He was my very first best friend. You can ask my mom. She will tell you I didn't want anything to do with her until I was about 12 years old. But my dad stays being my very first best friend and he's forever my hero. I do admire everything that he does. And I try to tell him. Sometimes he says, "Thanks, kid." I know he's not really retaining it, but
I just don't like compliments.
He is my hero. Everybody can learn something from my dad. So, happy birthday. I love you.
I love you too.
And
you're the best.
Let's get semi-drunk tonight.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And I love you.
You're welcome.
And that's why I said at the beginning, my best gift was seeing you here on Monday. So thank you for making that sacrifice and the drive.
You're welcome.
And, you know, nothing is more important to me than my family, and everything I do is for you. So, so thank you. It's a good birthday.
You're welcome.
It's a good birthday.
It's a good birthday.
So.
I will be putting in the video of me surprising you, though, because I am very like my dad in this sense. I'll wrap it up with this funny story, so we end on a light note. My dad and I don't process surprises very well, so I'm very excited to see Dad, because he had no idea we fooled him for like 2 weeks at this point. And he walks in and he like jumps kind of. And then like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy to see you. Oh my gosh, Lauren, blah, blah, blah. He goes, what are you doing here? That's the response I got. But I process surprises.
I said, what are you doing here?
You did a little bit.
Because it wasn't my birthday.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I mean? So I was like,
still.
what are you doing here?
No, point remains. Don't try to sugarcoat it. No, Dad and I react to surprises the exact same way. If Dad showed up at my apartment randomly, I'd be like, what are you doing? Like, we both react the same way. But
so funny.
I will be putting that video in because it is funny.
Okay,
but
fair enough.
Other than that, thank y'all again.
Thanks
I'll let Dad do his spiel, actually.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for
the
support. We've had a ton of uptick in views, which makes us happy. We're not doing this for anything other than to impact people and stay connected as a father and daughter, and express views that are from different perspectives. Even if they align, they're from two different perspectives. So thank you guys for all that. And please like, support, comment, share, support in any way you can. And I hope everybody has a great rest of your week. Thank you guys. And we'll see you. Time to go have a good time.
Yep. Thank you all again from my mouth for the continued support and everything. We do really appreciate it. We do it to try to help anybody out there that just needs help on anything. Whether it's a Gen X mom who can't understand her Gen Z son, or Gen Z niece that they're watching, or whoever just needs the insight to understanding one another. This is great. Have conversations, be kind, love loudly, and we will see y'all next Thursday.
We'll see you next week. Peace out.
See ya. That's my line.
Oh, sorry.
Peace out.
Rock on.